right. Hey everyone. So I just bought this cool new mic that allows me to make really clear audio. I could even it just sounds more crisp as opposed to the speaker from my computer. So I'm excited to play with that. I actually might, this is a Blue Yeti and it connects directly to my computer. I actually might get one with an XLR connector so I can have this external interface so I can do more recording work with music, which is really exciting. Okay, down to business. So there's so much to talk about, and I just want to make a little video just talking about some of the main themes that I'm seeing right now. As always, with the unfolding of life, each moment is offering itself in a way that brings us just beyond our conditioning, just beyond the route that we're familiar with. And that's just the nature of the present moment. There's never a moment that will ever conform or fit into the ideas that we have of it. And the same is true with ourselves and with our beloved. When we meet another and we come into that moment with a pre-decided idea of who the other is, what they're like, what they don't like, what triggers them. We come with an anticipation of their reality. And so we actually close ourselves up entirely to the freshness of them, like who they actually are. And thus we actually close ourselves to our own freshness because we're anticipating something. So we're going to fix our own stance as well. And this is a very common thing that we all do this in life, right? You know, if you're driving to get groceries, we hold in our mind, I'm getting groceries, but really you're doing something else. I mean, there's really emptiness at the heart of it. Objectively, you can say, this is what I'm intending to do, and this is what's happening. I'm driving to the grocery store. But that really is just a concept. It's an agenda. It's what's happening. But there's also so much more than just that. And we learn from children what it's really like to live in this space of openness and curiosity, where, yes, there might be responsibilities and things that we're objectively doing and moving towards, but the heart of the moment isn't lost to these boxes and these definitions and things that we love to put on top of it. So right now we have, as always, the nodes in Capricorn, Cancer, but Mars today and tomorrow is forming an exact square to the nodal axis. So Mars in Libra, squaring the nodes. And this really speaks to this dynamic of intimacy with life that I'm speaking about right now. When we look at Mars in Libra, we're really looking about the impulse within consciousness to move out and extend towards other. Within Libra, there's this blossoming journey of discovering self through relationship. And relationship is a never-ending discovery of what makes you you. What are your needs? What is it like to be in your own experience? And how am I, in my own discovery, harmonizing and relating to this complete, holistic reality of you? As we really learn how to listen and to get to know ourselves and to allow relationship to dance in harmony with our own inner reality, we form all these different kinds of relationships where we come into a state of balance. We ever move into this poetic state of being in harmony with others. And this is by no means a static achievement. It's one of listening, of really getting to know, of really getting to discover what is it like to be you and what are you relative to me, right? Like, how are we dancing? What are our intentions? How are we serving and supporting one another on our evolutionary path? And as we all know, there are so many kinds of relationships out there. There are so many ways to be in the dance with others. And finding the right way is really a matter of tuning to our soul directive in life. We can theoretically distract ourselves, sustaining commitment in relationships and roles and ways of being that aren't relevant or necessary or useful for either party. But on the other hand, to really understand what the gift and what the potential, what the purpose really of any relationship is is to experience each relationship as a garden that has a lot of potential until we tend to it, we care for it. And so this Mars in Libra square in the nodes really invites listening. The challenge with this transit is getting stuck in judgments, roles, labels, and restrictions. It's simply true that when we look at one another with a predetermined judgment, an idea of who they are, what they need, what they want from us, and what we have to be for them, what we do is we create rigidity where there is actually fluidity. The nature of everyone is fluid. The nature of consciousness is fluid. No one is fixed. That is something that we create and we project onto ourselves and onto other people. The only thing that's fixed is in our minds, and we play it out. And our behaviors and our bodies and our actions tend to take that form. It becomes rigid and crystallized and stuck. It becomes grouchy, like Oscar the Grouch becomes a grouchy person. We fix these identities upon one another. And relative to the archetype of expectation and security linked to being and pleasing and accommodating to what others expect of us, we fix ourselves, even unconsciously. How many of us know what it's like to visit our parents, let's say, and then we immediately revert to old childhood behaviors? Or we come across a person whom we shared an intimate but very challenging connection, and immediately we revert to patterns of dependency and insecurity. It's very easy to default into these molds that have become conditioned. But to break out of these molds is to really shift into a Mars warrior-like stance of authentic listening. Libra. And through Cancer, North Node in Cancer, caring, gentleness, to see beyond the roles, to see beyond the form, and to soften. And this always, always, always starts with finding out what's happening in here, right? The other challenge with this Mars and Libra square in the nodes is we can get so fixed on who do I have to be relative to others? Because Capricorn, the world, has set up these expectations and these roles for us, and we've internalized it. But really, it's us that have set up these roles and these expectations. No one is needing us or expecting us to be a certain way. So Cancer, we actually find this intimacy and this permission within ourselves. What's needed? What is a tenderness within us asking for? What wants to be touched? What wants to be cared for? Where does love and nourishment and gentleness want to open and blossom more fully within us? That softness and that warrior-like stance of really attuning to the most sacred and delicate within us. That openness is a starting point for permission and space to really get to know ourselves and one another, and for others to really meet us because we allow them to get to know us, because we are allowing ourselves to acknowledge what's inside of our own selves. And this takes courage. Courage to meet our own vulnerability, to be authentic with ourselves. And there's never a Mars that doesn't take courage. So Mars in Libra is the courage to trailblaze new pathways within your relationships, to not fall into the patterns. But here, it's to really open up to a greater curiosity and willingness to listen, first and foremost, to what is inside of you. There's this beautiful teaching that we can only give to others what we give to ourselves, not in any kind of abstract way, but in a very direct, imminent way. What we give to others is, in that moment, what we are giving to ourselves. Our internal psychosomatic system doesn't know the difference. When we are angry at another, we experience the anger. When we are grateful and happy for another, we experience that gratitude. Our bodies don't know if it's supposed to be about someone else. And so if we can really care and respect and hold reverence for our internal environment, we will really, really care about what we're projecting towards other people. We will really care about cultivating peace. Mars in Libra is a warrior for peace. Cultivating peace in our relations, peace within, peace in our life, peace with all of our relationships. So this is a great time to be looking at that and to be meeting all hard places with greater courage and tenderness.